Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Battle Bites here in World of Tanks, and today I'm driving a tank that is on the channel for the first time. This is the Sperrpanzer 1C, the SP1C. I'll probably refer to it in this video. This is the Tier 7 German light tank that fairly recently was added to the game to replace the Aufklärungspanzer Panther, which became a free premium tank to anyone who owned it when the switch was made. So I actually never really played this tank. I had already finished with my grind past the awful Panther, but it's a premium, but it's a nice light tank to kind of jump into and have some fun scouting battle. So I'll go to it very occasionally when I need some dynamic gameplay because it's a fun, small, fast light tank. So we're in this battle on the Overlord map. It's a standard battle. It's a tier 8 battle, which is the best matchmaking that this can see. I am using the standard single shot gun as opposed to, I think this gets a 3-round autoloader on, I believe it's a 90mm gun that this carries. For me, the damage on this tank, its specialty is engaging other light tanks and engaging artillery. And if you're shooting at artillery and you've got a 3-shot clip and you miss one, your last 2 might not be enough. So I'd rather have just the single shotgun. It fires pretty rapidly. I prefer that. I do have the autoloader unlocked, but I haven't put it on this tank. But if you use this tank and you have a lot more success with the autoloader, or you find that using that gun helps you in certain situations, feel free to tell me about it in the comments. Kind of explain which gun you prefer on this tank, the single shot or the autoloader, and let me know why, because I'm open to other opinions on this tank. I still haven't played it too much yet, but so far I'm liking the single shot gun. So early on we rushed the middle of the map, kind of got down into the dip, spotted an opposing enemy medium tank, and we were able to kind of light him up so some allies could put a lot of damage in and eliminate him from the game. So a nice early advantage we secured there. Not doing damage directly, but spotting and lighting up some targets, which is what you want to be doing in your light tanks in general, of course, but also in a tank like this, which isn't really well armored and isn't really well armed until the later stages of the battle, when you can really use your mobility to create situations where you can then put your gun to use. If it's 15 on 15 and you poke your head up, somebody's going to see you, somebody's going to put a shot in, and you're going to lose a lot of your hit points. But if it's 5 on 5, you can find an isolated tank that's engaged, approach it from a different angle, and really do some damage. So I'm right now looking for an opportunity, and I found one. Here's an enemy light tank, an AMX-12T. He engaged and took out one of our tanks, but got badly damaged in doing so. So I'm approaching from the side. I've got a great ambush opportunity, and I completely blow it by duffing and rushing the first shot. And by the time I'm loaded here, I need to get myself in a little better situation. So we do a nice little cartwheel and land next to the AMX-12T. And you can see the bloom on the reticle there as we were nose down into the ground. It got pretty ridiculous. But we're able to put our shot in because he was distracted by what was shooting at him from the front. And we take him out there and secure our first kill. Now we've got a T-20 in front of us. I'm able to crest the ridge, put a shot in, and then we're going to do a little bullfighting here and let him pass. And he goes into the rock, gets stuck. We put in our second shot, and now we're just waiting on the reload. 7 seconds for this tank. I don't think I have it all equipped out, so you could certainly get that down a little bit. It's not great, but it's good enough to get the job done there, as we were able to outmaneuver that American light tank and secure our second kill. So now what I'm looking at, this is why I drive light tanks sometimes. This is the dream. So I can see there's 1 tank spotted down below and 3 spotted up to the right. That's 4 tanks. There's only 4 tanks left. The other 3 on the enemy team are artillery. So we have an even numbers game. I decide the best thing that I can do right now to help my team out is go straight down the middle here. There's no tanks. I shouldn't see anything. Everything is spotted except for the artillery, and I should be able to harass the artillery, and if I can remove them quickly, it'll really lighten the pressure on our tanks. We still have 1 artillery in support, so eliminating those 3 will really give us a numbers advantage. And there we go. There's our first target, the GW Panther. That's the Tier 7 German artillery. Our first shot, we gave him some lead as he was backing up, and it flew true. And now we're waiting for the reload, and I get a little nervous. I start to move. It opens up my bloom, and oh, that was painful as that shot flies just over the gun shield on the top of that artillery. So while we're waiting for the reload, I relocate a little bit, hopefully making the German artillery piece move its gun. It does, so when it fires, it misses, and our second shot flies true. And now, boy, things got heated up really quickly there. It's now 3-on-3, but 2 of the enemy are artillery. They're in a platoon together, so I need to approach them cautiously. And this, I think, is one of those situations where if I had the autoloader and I had 3 shots to take out 2 artillery, I might be in trouble. But because I have the single shotgun, even if I run into them both, and yes, there they are together, I should be able to handle this as long as I do it smart. So we get our first shot into the M12. I'm using the speed. I come downhill. I'm able to outwork the traverse of that American artillery piece. And now he runs. It's an easy shot into the rear. And now I've got the rear of the M41 HMC as well. That's the Tier 5 artillery. So we're able to just wait for our reload here, easily out-traverse his tank traverse. We put it in, and we get a nice little ammo rack to boot. And great situation. Now it is 3-on-1. We have myself in the light tank, a tank destroyer, and an artillery in support against just one heavy tank. And it's a German heavy tank. I think it might be the Tiger II. We'll see here as I pull up the map or as we get close and find this guy. So I jump on the mic, tell the tank destroyer, hey, jump in there, put some pressure on the cap. Let's see. Yes, it is a Tiger II. We'll see if we can make this guy come towards us. And I'll try and pick him off on the way. If I can either distract him or catch him as he's going by, maybe we'll be able to take this guy out. But the Tiger II, top tier, is a dangerous tank if he's got most of his hit points. You know, that's the kind of tank that can turn a 1-on-3 into a win if we're not smart. So get in the cap, start the pressure. That tank has to come to us, and hopefully we'll be able to control the engagement and come at it from multiple angles in order to secure the win. So 35 seconds left, and I think the tank's got to be coming through this way. We knew it was down in the southern part of the map. There it is. It is on a 75% health. So our first shot we put in on the move. And now we're going to cut right by his back. And I kind of screwed that up. I could have carried more momentum to swing around the tank. I underestimated the traverse of this tank. When it's spinning its tracks and its turret in the same direction, watch how fast this thing goes. So now I'm going to try and spin around and go the other way. And look at the traverse there. It's really, really quick. But thankfully, I get a couple of hits in. I do get help from the artillery. I've got his side. We put one more in, damage the ammo rack. I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to get a top gun. One more shot from the artillery. Can I get the last shot? And no, before I can pull the trigger, our ally ends up capping out the battle, denying us the top gun, but it secures the win for the team. It was probably the smart move, the smart thing to do in order to definitely make sure we had the cap. If I got killed there, and our guy had hopped out, the Tiger II could have got back and could have ended up carrying the game. So can't be too disappointed with a round like this. A really fun one, really nice result in the SP1C. 2,358 damage, 5 kills, another 400 assistance damage, almost 3,000 total damage there between damage and assistance. 5 kills in a light tank, you gotta love that. 4,606 XP, but that's with some ops there, and also for the that might be our doubled for our first win. And you can see we put away a nice chunk of change as well, over 37,000 in terms of credits. And we secured a second-class mastery badge, which is a little low, I think, for this performance. It felt like better than that. But we got ourselves a nice Pascucci's medal for taking out the 3 artillery on the enemy team. And here we can see in the team results, 1,535 was our base XP. And yeah, that's pretty good. I guess that's not something that you can expect to earn an ace tanker from. But I was thinking a first-class mastery badge for 2.3 damage, 2.3k damage in this tank. Thought that would have been good enough. Not quite, but doesn't take away from the impact on the game, the fun of that game. So I thought that was a fun one to put up. Still kind of a new map for Overlord there. Early on, we took that key position in the middle, provided some spotting, looked for the opportunity to outflank and then outplay the enemy light tanks. And then when we had our opportunity, broke through the lines, took out all the artillery, and then also played a nice little ambush game at the end to clean up the last heavy tank. Just a solid all-round game, smart from a strategy standpoint, good teamwork, and the results speak for themselves there when you can put up a nice game like that and help your team get a win. So, thought that was a good one to share. Probably won't be seeing too many replays in this tank, but if it's something that you guys want to see again or if you have questions about, I will do my best to answer them based on my limited time playing the tank. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please feel free to leave a like or a comment below. And as always, you can subscribe to Meat City Gaming for all your future World of Tanks console content needs. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.